What's up everybody, my name is Chazdex, and a problem that I have, and I know a lot of other Planet Coaster players have, is getting inspired and finishing builds. And it doesn't come easy. Out of all the projects that I'm showing behind me right now, I've only fully finished one of them. So I figured an easy way for me to kill two birds with one stone is to kind of give myself a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to build a park where everything that I build has to be inspired by the letters of the alphabet. So for example, today I'm going to be building an entrance area inspired by all the letter A pieces. So that doesn't necessarily mean I have to only build with pieces that start with A, but they kind of have to be like the driving force behind everything that I'm doing. And by limiting myself to only 26 things, aka the 26 letters in the alphabet, I'll never reach a point where I feel like I run out of inspiration, and I'll always have a goal to work towards. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the first build of this series. This little diorama is going to be kind of like my thesis statement for the entrance area. So yeah, let's go through all the items that I'm being inspired by. I'm being inspired by acacia trees. I'm being inspired by ash trees. I'm being inspired by animal statue elephant. And then I'm being inspired by ancient statue legs too. Alright, so I'm gonna go get some inspiration photos and I'll be right back to get to building. I got a lot of reference photos on my other screen, and I think I'm gonna base this build off the Kailash temple. I don't really have time to get into the history of this temple right now, but all you really need to know is it's the largest of the rock cut Hindu temples. Yeah, and I just really like the style of it, so I want to make sure that I'm capturing that realistically. Alright, so for this build, I wouldn't necessarily say I really struggled that much, but it was definitely a little bit of a challenge. It was just like such an intricate little build, and I had to like really articulate and kind of capture the craftsmanship of my reference photos, which, as you know, if you're trying to do like really small details, it's a little hard to accomplish in Planet Coaster, but I think I did a pretty good job. I do think I kind of made it a little extra hard on myself though, because I don't know if you can really tell in the time lapse, I kind of built this on like an angle, so I couldn't use the align to world position or whatever it's called. I couldn't use that to kind of line everything up. So if you really look really closely at the build, you can see everything's a little bit off, and just like in this starting part of this of the build, it does not look very good. I was not confident, and I felt like giving up on the build and just like restarting, finding an entirely different theme. I was honestly debating just not doing this series, which might not be a good sign for the rest of the series, but I don't know, we'll make it work. And then yeah, I also made this build work. I just kind of just kept on going, and then once I kind of had a vision for what I wanted to do, and once I built up enough, once I got enough verticality, you'll see it in a couple seconds here, I start building like this tower part of this tower. Who knew that a tower has a tower part in it? Yeah, right here. So I kind of start giving it like a different dimension, and I think the more height I added, the more it was kind of like what I wanted it to look like. Oh yeah, and this right here, these castle walls, they looked so good. They still look amazing. I love how they turned out on the final build, but oh my gosh, this time lapse does not do it justice. These were so annoying to place because they're on a grid. So if you want to move them, you have to move each one by one. Me, Chazdex, as of this part in the time lapse, had not yet seen how devastatingly hard this would be, how devastatingly annoying this would be. And yeah, overall, this was not like a hard build. It was just really annoying. And yeah, you can see with these little outcroppings right here, I kind of use those to give a little bit more detail to the build. Because I'll just throw up the same picture again right now. This build is so intricate in real life. It's just a beautiful piece of work. I don't even know how they did it. So I just felt like I kind of had to do it justice by putting the same amount of detail into this. And then yeah, right here you can see I was just like trying to use a bunch of different castle pieces to kind of give myself a shortcut so I wouldn't have to do this again and duplicate it multiple times, but I didn't end up finding anything, so I just had to tough it out for the good of the build. And yeah, I think this is where the build started to come together a little bit more. Once I kind of added these outcroppings to the side, I think that kind of gave it the dimension that I was hoping for and the dimension that I was looking for. But if you can see right now, you can see I added these little outcroppings, but if you're looking at the side of the building, you can see that there's that the wall pieces that I have are not completely flush, which is something that I would need to pay for later on by using very small pieces and using lots of them to cover up those holes. You can't really see it right now, but it's there, and it's something that I would have to pay for. But even right now in my build process in my mind, I was like, I'm still not the most happy with this. And then yeah, this is where I was like, oh crap, now I'm gonna have to pay for that and fill these gaps in. And this was just so annoying. Something that I don't like about Planet Coaster is the hitboxes on the pieces. I think it's a necessary evil for a game like this, because you kind of have to move around everything, and I don't think you can really avoid these annoying hitboxes. But when you're working with like these small pieces, I feel like if I click on it, I should be able to like move it. I should be able to select it. But it's just really annoying because it feels like when I click on something and nothing happens, it just clicks on the completely wrong thing. It clicks on something like 30 meters away, and I don't even know. But anyway, you can see right here, I was extending the height of the thing because I was just not happy, and I was like, I fixed the walls. What else is there to add besides the roof? And I was like, oh wait, I need to make it a little bit taller. I think I kind of had the same feeling before when I didn't really know what I was going to do with the build. But then once I figured it out, I was like, oh wait, I think the key to this is just making it really tall. That seemed to happen with a lot of my builds. I think if I just like increase the height of something, it kind of rounds everything off a little bit. In Planet Coaster and in other games, I made this base in Minecraft a couple months ago, and I just kept on making it taller and taller. And then once I finally made it tall enough, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I don't know if that's like me compensating for the bad design. I don't think this is bad. Honestly, I don't think this is a bad design. I think it's just a design that I've never tried before. I've never worked in the style before. And I'm not even talking about what I'm doing right now. I'm making the roof right now. Again, this roof is inspired by... actually, this one was kind of just like out of my own brain. Honestly. I just kind of took what I saw in the pictures, and then I just like threw that into the back of my mind. And I was like, you know what? I'll just kind of keep that in the back of my head. But actually, I think the time lapse is coming to an end right now. So this is VoiceOver Chazdex out in a couple seconds here. VoiceOver Chazdex out. All right, whoopsie daisy. I think I might have forgotten to record me building the rest of this entrance area. But long story short, this is the end of today's episode. Stick around for the cinematics, but I just want to tell you guys about what I'm going to be doing next episode before that. So yeah, next episode, I'm going to be working on polishing up this A area. I'm going to designate this entrance area as being inspired by pieces with the letter A in them. And then next episode, I'm going to be moving on to the entrance area, and I'm going to be working on the main plaza, and the main plaza is going to be inspired by B. But all that out of the way, no more dilly-dallying. Let's check out these cinematics.